is not eligible to be appointed as the auditor of a company? Hi everyone, I am Megha and welcome to UGC Net with Megha. In this video, we are going to understand the disqualifications of an auditor. So it simply means that we are going to understand that who all are not eligible to be appointed as the auditor of a company. So in December 2019, there was a question that who amongst the following is not eligible to be appointed as the auditor. So now there are a few things which you need to keep in mind when it comes to the acts, any act related to commerce. If the questions are based on the acts, you need to know the latest amendment, and the latest amendment regarding this question was that now a limited liability partnership can be an auditor of a company. Earlier it was not the same. So now LLP also got the qualification for being appointed as the auditor. So if you are not aware about this amendment which was brought in Companies Act 2013, you might have chosen the wrong option, wherein there were three options and all those three were considered as ineligible by majority of the students. But the fact is that since LLP is eligible to be an auditor of the company, so there were only two options which were not qualified to be an auditor of a company. So first we are going to understand who all are not qualified to be appointed as the auditor of a company. Then we are going to look at the options of that particular question and also the correct answer. The disqualifications are as follows: body corporate other than LLP, that is limited liability partnership. So any body corporate except limited liability partnership is disqualified from being appointed as the auditor of a company. Officer or employee of the company, any person who is a partner or in employment of an officer or employee of the company. Now there is a difference between the second and the third disqualification. Second disqualification says that any person who is appointed at any of the posts of the company, or if that person is the employee of the company, then he cannot be the auditor of the same company or for that matter any other company. Now, a person who is a partner or is in employment of an officer or employee of the company. So, a person who is working at any post for the company or is an employee of the company, and if any person is partner of that officer or employee or is an employee of that officer or an employee, then that person is not eligible to be appointed as the auditor of a company. The next disqualification is a person who himself or his relative or any partner is holding any security or interest in the company, holding company of the company, associate company of the company, subsidiary company of the holding company or subsidiary company of such company, then he shall not be eligible to be appointed as the auditor of the company. But there is a small exception here, that is if the relative holds security or interest of face value less than rupees 1 lakh, then the ineligibility would not be attracted. Then there is one more subpart of this disqualification, that is if the person himself or his relative or partner is indebted to the company, that is has taken any loan from the company or its holding company or associate company or subsidiary company of holding company or subsidiary company of such company in excess of rupees 5 lakhs, then he shall not be eligible to be appointed as the auditor. And lastly, if such person or his relative or partner has given any guarantee or provided any security in terms of a third person in excess of rupees 1 lakh to company, holding, associate, subsidiary of holding and subsidiary of such company, then they shall be ineligible to be appointed as the auditor of the company. A person or a firm directly or indirectly has a business relationship with company, holding a company of such company, associate of such company, subsidiary of holding company or subsidiary of such company. So any sort of business relationship with the company will make that firm ineligible to be appointed as the auditor of that company. Then a person whose relative is a director or is in employment of the company as a director or key managerial person, then that person shall also be ineligible to be appointed as the auditor. Now, a person who is in full-time employment or a person or a partner of a firm who is holding audits of more than 20 companies other than the OPC, that is one person company, or a dormant company, small company, and private companies having a paid up share capital of less than 100 crore on the date of appointment or reappointment shall not be eligible to be appointed as the auditor of a company. So basically, a person who is working somewhere is in full-time employment, or a person whose ceiling limit has exhausted, that is a person or any partner of the firm who is holding audits of more than 20 companies apart from the exceptions that I have discussed, will not be eligible to be appointed as the auditor of the company. And any person who has been convicted by the court for an offense involving fraud and 10 years from the date of imprisonment or from the date of sanctioning the sentence has not elapsed. So basically, if a person is convicted of fraud and the sentence has been given and 10 years has not been passed from the sentence given, then he shall be ineligible to be appointed as the auditor of the company. So these are the disqualifications stated under Companies Act 2013 regarding the appointment of an auditor. So if any of these are attracted to an individual or a firm, then they shall not be eligible to be appointed as the auditor of the company. One more thing that you need to understand is the meaning of business relationship. So any transaction for commercial purposes except which is in the nature of professional services or in the ordinary course of business of the company at arm's length prices by the hospitals or airlines or telecommunications, hotels, or any other similar business. So apart from that, any other transaction which is of commercial nature entered into the company would be considered as the business relationship. So the question that was asked in exam was, which of the following are not qualified to be appointed as an auditor of a company? Option 1, an individual who is a chartered accountant and holds a certificate of practice as per the CA Act 1949. Option 2, a limited liability partnership which has all the partners as chartered accountants. Third option was an officer or employee of a company who is qualified chartered accountant degree holder 2. And fourth option was any chartered accountant whose appointment will result in the person being the auditor of more than 10 companies. So now here you were required to identify who is disqualified. So basically only one person is disqualified, that is an officer or employee of a company who is qualified chartered accountant, but still he is in full-time employment or he is connected with the company as an officer or employee of that company. So he cannot be the auditor of the company. A limited liability partnership is eligible to be appointed as the auditor because CAs can now form a limited liability partnership, and a person holding a certificate of practice under CA Act is also eligible, and any chartered accountant whose appointment will result in the person being the auditor of more than 10 companies is not at all a problem. Had it been more than 10 public companies, then this would have fallen under the disqualification. So that was all for this video. Thank you for watching this video, and if you want me to cover any particular topic, you can leave your comments in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. For more details on our online course, visit our website www.ugcnetwithmegha.com, and the link for the website is given in the description below. And for regular updates, follow us on our social media handles.